I really tried to curl my hair today to do something a little bit different, and I know you're like,
where are the curls?
I know. Hey, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey and I like to talk about fitness and beauty and a few things in between. So if that sounds like your jam, hit that subscribe button and keep on watching. So today I have a really fun video for you. I am going to predict the future. Just kidding. I wish. What I'm really going to do is try my best to use my makeup addicted brain coupled with my wisdom and knowledge within the industry and the artistry to try to predict the makeup and beauty trends of 2021. I have some serious notes here because I have been contemplating and predicting trends for the past few days. Before we get started, I do have to say that this video is in part inspired by Angelica Nyquist. For the past 3 or 4 years, she has created videos predicting the makeup and beauty trends for the upcoming year. I recently watched her most recent one, her predictions for 2021, and turned it off as soon as a light bulb went off in my brain, thinking,
Oh my gosh, this is such a fun video idea, I really want to do it.
In addition to Angelica's videos, I recently watched a video by Smoky Glow. Her video was very different though. She was instead roasting the trends of 2020. It was hilarious. I will link both videos below, but I did just want to mention that my bravery and my inspiration for this video came from the two of them. So I just wanted to give them credit. Now, let's get in to my predictions. My first prediction for 2021 has to do with eyeshadow palettes. I think we will continue to see neutral eyeshadow palettes as well as mini cool tone eyeshadow palettes, but I don't think color is going to completely go away. In fact, I predict that instead we will start to see more muted colorful color stories. When I say this, I am specifically thinking of the Colourpop and Raw Beauty Christie eyeshadow palette at Foresight. That palette was very colorful, very much inspired by nature. The tones and the colors, they're so rich, but they're just a little bit muted. So yes, it's very colorful, but it's not in your face colorful. I just wonder if, given the desire now to transition to more neutrals and cool tones, if the colorful color stories will slowly transition to more muted, earthy, nature-inspired color tones. Still colorful, but still neutral. My next prediction, sticking with eyeshadows and color stories. We saw a lot of jewel tones this year, especially as we transitioned into fall and winter. And I think it's pretty common for jewel tones to come out and be trendy once the weather cools down a bit. But I am wondering if these jewel tones will collide with the desire for more neutral tones, and we will start to see more metals, more metallics, more foils. Specifically, when I think of this, I think of the new Makeup by Mario Master Metals eyeshadow palette. That palette, while it only had 5 shades, each of those shades was so beautiful and so vibrant on their own. He had a beautiful, magnificent silver in there. He had a very yellow gold. There was a beautiful, gorgeous orangey rush shade. I wonder if these jewel tones will slowly kind of transition into this more foiled, more metals look. I think the metals and the metallics are just a neutral step down from the jewel tones, but they're still bold and they're still edgy and a little bit futuristic. Still cool, still poppin' for the people that still want to play with color and still have something bold on their eyes but want to keep it relatively neutral. I'm wondering if we'll see more palettes inspired by the Master Metals eyeshadow palette. Prediction number 3, I think makeup and skincare will become one.
When to become one.
I do think we've already started to see this within a lot of brands. IT Cosmetics comes to mind, and that's something that they've been doing for a couple of years now. You know, their Your Skin But Better CC cream, and then this year with the foundation. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more products like that, especially face products, a lot of foundations, concealers. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more serum foundations, serum concealers, maybe even like serum eyeshadows, serum lips products. And all of these specific products, of course, are going to have skincare benefits. A lot of focus on anti-aging, skin brightening, maybe even like reducing acne. I don't know. I just think that the two worlds are going to collide and we're going to start seeing a lot more makeup products doubled as a skincare product. not just limited to face products. I think we'll probably see some mascaras and some brow products that are like the Grande Lash, but they're actual makeup. Some mascaras and eyebrow gels that promote hair growth, as well as provide color and volume or curl or whatever it is that you're going for. Prediction number 4 is one I can see happening if mask wearing is no longer mandated. I think we will see lip liberation. I know myself, I have not been wearing hardly any lip products, maybe once in a while when I'm at home by myself or when I'm filming. So my lip products have been
Greatly neglected.
and I'm very much missing them, and I know I'm not the only one. So as soon as we're able to take our masks off and venture out into the world, I foresee everyone just going crazy, finally be able to wear their lip products again. I think the focus is going to transition more to lips. So again, bold colors, rich colors, pigmented colors, more juicy lips, glossy lips, sparkly lips, metallic lips maybe even, who knows. I don't think we're going to stick with the nudes and the mattes as soon as we're able to unleash these lips. I think we're going to want to put color on them. We're going to want them to look juicy. We're going to want them to be the star of the show. Prediction number 5. Again, we've already started to see this within the makeup industry, but I think moving into 2021, we're going to start seeing more and more, and that is duochrome eyeshadows. I lust after duochromes. I've got an entire Z palette dedicated to all my favorite duochrome eyeshadows.
I think they are just majestic and beautiful.
And it's something that a lot of the much bigger known brands that we see at Sephora and Ulta haven't really figured out how to do a good solid duochrome. Indie brands is where that's at. Indie brands nail it. We've already started to see this happen with some brands, specifically Natasha Denona. I think Colourpop has been dabbling with the duochromes for a little bit. I'm totally, completely blanking all of the brands that have dabbled within the duochromes, but they just don't get it the same way that indie brands do. And moving into 2021, again, I think we are going to be seeing a lot more so like mainstream brands, the ones that we see in Sephora and Ulta. But I don't think they're gonna get it quite yet the same way indie brands do. And honestly, I hope they don't, because that is just one area that I think indie brands excel at and are great at, the best at. And I just don't really want mass makeup brands to take that away from them. I want that to stay within the indie brands and for them to be known at that and for them to continue to grow because of that. While I do think that we are going to start to see more duochromes, especially because brands have exhausted the possibilities of color stories. I think they're going to start getting creative with these specific colors, again, creating more duochromes, multichromes, and probably we'll even be seeing more textures. You know, we've already seen that within Huda Beauty and within Makeup Revolution. I think they've dabbled with it a little bit. But yeah, I think we're going to be seeing more duochromes, more textures. Next, I am wondering, and this might be a stretch, and I would love to know your opinion on this, but for the past couple of years, bushy brows have been the thing. At one point, I swear I even saw someone with a unibrow, and that was kind of trendy for a moment. Maybe I dreamt that, I'm not quite sure, but bushy brows, natural brows have been a thing. And maybe I'm just jealous because I can't get my brows to look like that. Maybe I just didn't wait long enough through the awkward phase for me to reach that point of beautiful, luscious, natural looking brows, but I just couldn't do it, man.
I just can't do it, Captain. I do it time to time.
I just feel like with my face shape and my features, I don't look great with the bushier, more natural brows. I like a little bit of definition, a little bit of arch. And throughout 2020, I think we've seen a little bit of a transition away from the messy, fuller brows into a little bit more of the sculpted look, specifically like the laminated brows, the soap brows, you know, giving the brows a little bit more texture. And I'm wondering if moving into 2021, and again, maybe this is just jealousy, wishful thinking, because I can't rock the full natural brows, but I'm wondering if we will continue to see more sculpt, more texture, and I wonder if we're going to see a bit more of an arch there, especially if we do continue wearing masks and our focus is on our eye looks. I think we're going to want something that gives our face a little bit more structure, a little bit more architecture up here, because your brows do a lot, man. They really shape your face. They really give character. When I say that, I'm trying to think of someone with really great brows. Like Marilyn Monroe. She had fuller brows, but there was definitely a little bit of an arch that gave her a little bit of character, a little bit of attitude. Another one, Lauren Bacall, the same thing. Hers were a little bit more defined, going out in the tail of the brow, a little bit thinner. I don't know if we'll get to be that thin, but she definitely had a bit of structure and a bit more arch in her brows than we've been seeing within the past year or two. And I just wonder if things will start to move more in that direction. In addition to that, I'm thinking that we will start to see more innovative brow products, specifically within the drugstore, within more affordable brands. I think that the drugstore has completely nailed the micro tip brow pencils, but they haven't really gotten it right when it comes to the brow pens, or the ones with the 3 prongs. What the heck are those called? Like micro blading pens. I wonder if we'll start to see more products like that. Something that, again, is a little bit more than the brow pencil, something that is going to focus on giving the brow a little bit more structure, a little bit more depth, a little bit more texture, again, like the pens. Because a lot of people rely going to get their brows done to give them shape and texture, and with things being closed, we're relying on the products to do that for us. So let me know what you think of that. Are you into the full natural bushy brows, or do you like something a little bit more shape, a little bit more arch? Because I feel like in real life, day to day, going to the grocery store, maybe this is just because I live in Minnesota, but I don't feel like I see people with like the full on bushy brows. I definitely don't see many people with the unibrows, if that was ever a trend. I see people with a little bit more structure in their brows, and again, maybe that's just because I don't live in a super trendy area, but I'm just curious, what are your opinions? My next prediction, again, I feel that brands have really exhausted us when it comes to palettes, not only color story, color combinations, but also size. You know, how many huge jumbo palettes do you have in your collection that you look at and you probably only use 2 or 3 shadows from at a time? I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but a lot of times when I'm just wanting something quick on the go, that's all that I really need, that's all that I really reach for. And I think brands are definitely taking note of that. We've been seeing a lot more mini eyeshadow palettes this year, and that will definitely continue into 2021. In fact, I think we're gonna start seeing a lot more one and done eyeshadows, a lot more stick eyeshadows, maybe some balm eyeshadows. Again, like I mentioned before, the serum eyeshadows, I think that would be interesting. And again, back to more of like the unique type of shadows. Singular, cool, unique, different type eyeshadows, the duochromes, the ones with the different textures. And also in an effort to save consumers money. You know, a lot of us aren't spending tons of money on makeup right now, and to bring down the cost, let's bring down the size of our damn palettes and continue with the mini palettes, continue with the quads, maybe even duos and single shadows. But next up, I think green will become the new blue. Within the past couple of years, a lot of brands have taken a relatively neutral eyeshadow palette and added a pop of blue to make it cool. I think green is going to become the new blue. And we've already been seeing that a little bit this year, specifically this fall with the Huda Beauty khaki obsessions, and also the new Colourpop Collections, the Child palette. You know, a lot of those have more mossy, more earthy greens. I think that we're going to continue to see that. And let me tell you, I am totally here for that. I have been dying, waiting for someone to come out with just like the most beautiful, rich,
poopy green palette.
Olives and khakis and mosses and sages and hunter greens and camel greens. All of that is magical, and I'm here for all of that, and I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of those colors moving into 2021. Last year when I got really into Colourpop and they were doing the monochromatic shades, I was
Dying
for them to come out with an olive palette and name it All of You. I mean, hello? Opportunity there, just waving at you. How have they not done that yet? Is there like a patent on the all of you phrase? How can they not have thought of an olive palette and to name it All of You?
Like, that just sounds freaking adorable. It sounds beautiful. It looks beautiful in my brain.
They need to do it. They need to make it happen.
This phone situation has me really jazzed up. Excuse my language. Now I'm gonna propose something insane.
As I've already mentioned, brands have very much exhausted their color story possibilities. I mean, at this point, I think we've really seen it all. We saw this coming. We knew this was going to come. We were excited about all the colors. We were excited about all the releases for a while. And as we all predicted, we've reached a point of exhaustion. And with that, moving into 2021, I think brands are going to start focusing more on collabs. And I think there's going to be a little bit of a competition amongst certain brands about who can have the best collab. We'll see a lot of influencer collabs, a lot of celebrity collabs, and a lot more nostalgia collections. We've already seen a lot of that this year with the Hocus Pocus, with the Nightmare Before Christmas, the Friends collection, which I hope that I'm wrong about this, because especially when it comes to like the nostalgia collections, I feel like a lot of times there's no thought put into it, and that's really, it's kind of disrespectful to the fans brands that really are stands for that specific collection. Like I'm thinking specifically the Nightmare Before Christmas collection. I'm just going to use that as an example. I love the Nightmare Before Christmas and was excited, even though I don't, necessarily, I don't buy the collections. I just like to appreciate them and I like to see it well done. But the Nightmare Before Christmas collection this year, I think it was by Makeup Revolution, is a great example of this. It just looked like there was no thought put into it. It was a color story that was just, it had a ton of shades, and it lacked such uniqueness. The only thing that made it the Nightmare Before Christmas was the packaging. And that's what I mean. I just hope that they don't go in the direction of creating all these nostalgia collections, thinking that that's going to sell to us just because it's going to hit us in the heartstrings, because that is reminiscent of our childhood or of people and times within our life that brings us back fond memories, and I just don't want to see that happen. For the people that bought that, if you love that palette, I'm sorry. I'm just using this as an example because I personally thought they could have done so much better. And like I said, I just hope moving into 2021, if they do take this direction, that they actually put some thought and some heart into these collections. And also with the influencer and the celebrity collabs, if we really love a specific celebrity and we buy the collection just because we want to support that celebrity and want to have a piece of them with us, but the actual product is completely thoughtless and crap, I just hope that brands don't go that route. However, I foresee gloss becoming the new highlighter. And again, I think this is one that we've already been seeing, along with the desire for natural looks. We don't really see a whole lot of blinding highlights anymore, even though I still love them. I could never get enough of the shimmer and the shine and the blind. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more gloss products, a lot more face glosses and eye glosses, and probably even body glosses, like glosses for, putting a little bit of something here along your collarbones, on your chest in the summertime. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more dew, a lot more gloss, and I hope, if that is the case, that brands will become a little bit more innovative with their products and make them actually wearable, something that isn't super sticky and super messy, because otherwise it's just a mess, especially if you go and put a mask on. What a damn mess. So I really hope that if that is the case, that brands become more creative and create products that are much more wearable. And this very much goes along with the skincare. We are very much wanting to take better care of our skin, and we want our makeup and our looks to reflect that. And so again, to move away from the luminous, the shimmer, the sparkle, the dazzle of the highlighter, and instead have something glossy that makes our skin look glassy and juicy as hell. I think that's definitely the direction that things are going to go into 2021. A big shift that happened this year, and I wonder if it would have happened even if the pandemic didn't happen, but we saw a huge shift into skincare because it was also self-care, and part of that has to do with the natural makeup look. We're starting to recognize that primers and foundations aren't really the answer to creating glassy, healthy looking skin. It's actually more about skincare. And we're going to continue to see that, of course, hopefully, like I said, with the makeup and the skincare products meshing into one. But I think we're going to start to see a lot more body care products. We're going to start to go downstream, and we're going to see a lot more moisturizers and body serums that promote anti-aging and moisture and brightening and scar fading. I think some brands have already dabbled in that, especially in the more higher end brands, but I wonder if that trend will start to trickle down into drugstore products and more affordable products. I just think that brands are going to see this self-care moment and take advantage of our desire to take care of the rest of our bodies, not just the skin on our face, but the skin everywhere else. And I'm totally here for that. One more prediction pertaining to skincare. In 2020, the trendy ingredients were definitely hyaluronic acid, CBD, and niacinamide. I don't like the idea of a specific ingredient being trendy because, like we saw with hyaluronic acid, it's in freaking everything.
It's in everything.
And so much so that, is it really even necessary? Do I need an eyeshadow that has hyaluronic acid?
I don't know.
So the idea of having a trendy skincare ingredient to me is a little bit questionable because it kind of loses the meaning of it. Everyone suddenly thinks they need to have it, and it's in everything, but it's definitely not going to go away. And I think moving into 2021, I'm wondering if the new trendy ingredient is going to be ceramides and alpha-arbutin. Alpha-arbutin I love and would very much like to see that. It kind of blows my mind actually that more people aren't using it, that it's not a trendy ingredient already, especially with the desire for glowy, brighter skin and, you know, diminishing spots. Because for me, I have talked about this on my channel a couple times already, but last fall I had some sort of crazy breakout on my skin. It lasted for a couple of months, and then when it went away, I did have some scars along my jawline, a little bit on my forehead here. And it made me very self-conscious. I have been very, very fortunate in my life to have been blessed with very good skin. I haven't experienced many skin issues, and I never, ever, ever want to take that for granted. And so to all of a sudden have something happen to my skin, and I felt out of control and I didn't know what was going on. And then once it finally went away, to be left with a constant daily reminder that it had been there, it does so much to your self-esteem because it's on your face. It's what you present to the world every single day, and I sympathize so much for people that deal with acne and with skin conditions, especially on their face. I mean, all over the body really. But anyway, not to get too far off track, alpha-arbutin was a very specific product that really, really helped diminish the dark spots that were there. It made such a big difference, and it's still a product that I use consistently in my skincare routine. So anyway, I'm very surprised that it's not already trendy, but I think moving into 2021 it will become trendy. Alright guys, those were all of my makeup and beauty predictions for 2021. Let's come back together in a year and see if I was right or terribly, horrifically, embarrassingly wrong. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I hope you let me know down below some of your predictions. I would really, really be curious to hear if you have predictions, maybe thoughts on some of my predictions, what you'd want to see, what you certainly would not want to see. Please do let me know all of your thoughts down below. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope that you hit that subscribe button so you come back next time. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day. My next prediction. Last year when I discovered the graphic liner, which is really stinking cool, and I don't think I could ever, even if I could get it right and make it look nice, I can pull it off. I live in Minnesota. If I go out in public like that, do you know how ridiculous I'm gonna feel? Anyway, I'm filming in a new spot today because it's like practically nighttime right now. I mean, it's really not. It's like noon, but it's Minnesota and it's December and it looks like it's night out. But I'm filming in a space right in front of a window and looking straight into my neighbor's house, and literally right there is their kitchen table, and it looks like they're all just sitting down to have some food. And they would just keep going. I'm fine, it's fine, we're fine.